Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. HappyCattyCrypto here, and a nice little weekend video for you. I thought this one was quite important as to everything that's actually currently going on. This, I wouldn't say has a overall effect on the situation inside LUNC. We really are our own sector, and we're not really affected by all of these silly things that currently are going on in the background. But my perspective and my take on this and the way that I'm thinking about this currently is it's like the stars are beginning to align, because you've got all of these different things going on, right? But there's only room for one algorithmic stablecoin in the sector. Ultimately, if you put it down, bite to crunch, Luna is not so much the enemy, but it's like the opposition. They're exactly, you know, they're a copy. They're a copy of what we are. They're a forked chain, okay, of the old community. The last thing they want to see is us prospering and them simply not fixing the thing that destroyed the majority of those people. You can start to weigh out those kind of options. Now, I've been following this quite closely and updating when there's kind of been a substantial update as to things that are going on. I've got some documents. I'm not allowed to show those documents because of, I don't know, legal things and stuff like that. When I was reading through the documents, it specifically said in there that you couldn't show them. I think I might be able to leave a link. I need to do a double check. I need to have another little check into this. But ultimately, this seems to be correct, is kind of what I'm getting at. I've done some background research, and it seems that Do Kwon is going to be extradited back to South Korea within the next 6 months. This is actually critical for us because he's the person who put together the Alliance module. If you look at things closely and you follow things in depth on Twitter, you can clearly see that Jared is more or less running the ship and keeping the ship afloat. But, you know, this picture, you've seen the original photos. He's got his hair, and now you can see he's got a shaved head. And this is likely just because of the conditions that in jail out there. The probability that there's lice in the jail and things like that, it's, you know, he's probably not having a good time, and he's probably looking forward to getting extradited. But ultimately, when he gets extradited back, regardless of what somebody says, there are legal you know, the case is there, and South Korea have wanted to get him back for a while. That's why he was attempting to travel on a fake passport. That's why he was attempting to move in and out of the Costa Rican kind of sectors. You know, he had plans, and this is actually all going to go against him in a court because, you know, if you've done nothing wrong, why are you running? If you've done nothing wrong, why are you forging a passport? These are all the questions you've got to ask yourself, and then you've got to sit there and think to yourself, well, in a court of law, it's not going to, you know, Do Kwon sat there giving his opinion in the coinage interview. It's going to be a lot different. I think once he gets back to South Korea, we're going to have ultimately the best head start that we could ever possibly imagined that we could have, because Jared can only do so much. Do Kwon envisioned the Alliance module, and he's really the person to try and get the whole cosmos together. Another way to get the cosmos together right now is the USTC repeg. I've said this many of times. If we repeg USTC, not only do we solve the repeg issue, without even having any projects on board or anything, just having USTC as a stablecoin in our sector would be absolutely insane. We would be the centerpiece of the cosmos. Everything would ultimately come back to us as a community, and all of that liquidity would travel through our sector of the cosmos, and that's what we want. Because on top of that, right, with all of that good stuff that's going on, we can also burn through the supply of Luna Classic. I'm going to be doing a video on the market module this week. We're going to be diving into that, taking a look at that. There's a lot of people that are confused as to what it does and what it's going to do, and the reason why it's turned off, how it was turned off. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff that I actually know about the market module. I was one of the people that was pushing to get it stopped. And this is when the hyper minting was on within the first, you know, I think it took them like 3 weeks to turn off. It was absolutely insane. They managed to stem the minting, but it wouldn't stop. It was still going. So yeah, we'll be doing videos on that. But all of this stuff about that it could be dismissed and stuff like that. You know, I'm highly skeptical because there's so many people that have filed public lawsuits against DK, TFL. There's so many people that have followed it. FM's one of those people. You can't ignore those things, but ultimately it doesn't affect us at the end of the day. We are our own blockchain. We have our own developers. We have our own team. We have our own station. You know, we are becoming more and more of an independent blockchain, and because of the way things are being built by the L1 team, you're not seeing things privatized. And this is always the biggest risk, is that someone will think to themselves, well, I'm going to build it, but I'm not giving it to the blockchain. I'm not giving it to the sector. How can I prosper from it? And that's what we've always seen with DEXs. No one wants to design a DEX that is integrated into station. People will always want to privatize that. We've actually seen this recently with this move from the Agora system to Commonwealth. The people that are running the new Commonwealth is Bilbo and those people. That's very interesting to see that happening. Ultimately, what I would actually like to see is it built into station. You know, we have everything else on station. We have governance on station. We have an NFT bridges on station. We're going to be getting on and off ramps possibly soon, but I think that's a lot of talk, because I'm going to be doing a video on it. But what we want to see is everything integrated into station, because, you know, we've got, if we want to attract everyday average users, and everyday average users are not going to want to have to create a Terra Station wallet. They're not going to want to have to create a Commonwealth account. They're not going to want to have to create, I don't know, a DAO account somewhere else to do their trades. They want it all in one place, and this is how you more or less persevere. If you look at Google, how did Google consume the market? Well, they just did everything, even down to Word documents, you know, PowerPoint. They did it all, and it's still all available now, even with all of the ups and downs they're currently going through with AI. But, you know, you need to, it's not even about dominating your sector. It's simply providing everything for everybody in one place. And that's how it should be. If we're the blockchain that is so advanced, then we need to have these advanced things. Everything in one place, not privatized, built for the blockchain, for the people and only the people. I don't want to see things privatized. We've seen people muttering on Twitter, more or less. I call this foreshadowing in the business, about me saying, you know, beware the people that want to privatize things. The risks are real. When I went away from my operation, when I came back, I felt like we were back all the way again in May, and it was absolutely insane. And it took so long for us to, you know, get people back on side and start to see the positives and all of these different things. For me, what we've gone through here today, I see this as a huge, like a power up, like a boost, a really good head start to really get this repeg underway with the correct team. I've seen a few people in the comments saying, you know, well, why don't you assemble a team and stuff like that? If I could quite happily assemble a team, but that's not down to me. It's down to the person who is creating that repeg to assess the situation, understand the blockchain, understand the bad actors, understand the good actors. We can only walk people so far to the watering hole. We can't force them to drink the water. Folks, have a really nice Sunday. I hope you've enjoyed your weekend and the hot weather here in the UK. If you're outside of the UK, I hope you're enjoying yourself too. If I haven't urged you to subscription by now, folks, please subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment. Those 3 things help this channel excel so much higher. It helps me. It just helps everything. And if you feel like it, don't skip the ads. Let them run. You only need to do it once, folks. Honestly, that really does help out. Have a lovely day. Beware of scammers, beware of doppelgangers, beware of anybody pretending to be me. None of this is financial advice. It's all for educational purposes only. And yeah, catch you in the next one. Ciao.